And today, we're going to have you in reference to talking about chakras.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, you're all the way out there in British Columbia, in Canada.
I am, yes. Yes,
and,
I am on the West Coast. Mm-hmm.
Wow, on the West Coast. It's everyone here, and I'm here in New York, and we're having 60, 70-degree days. I'm just curious to see, Simone, what kind of weather you guys having up there in Canada?
Well, the area where I'm living it's fairly mild. Not many people are familiar with this. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius right now it's about 10 degrees Celsius and fairly sunny. So it's a mild winter for us. I don't know if you're familiar with the West Coast, so similar to Seattle and Oregon. Yeah, similar weather.
And talking about energy, there's a lot of interesting energy up in that part of the world.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And this part, it's a very, a lot of spiritual work is being done here. Energy work.
A lot of energy vortexes are there.
True.
Up in
the
and talking about energy, like I mentioned at the beginning of my show, just because you can't see nothing, you can't see it doesn't mean it does not exist. And I said at the beginning of my show that, I believe kind of history, all these energy systems have been around now for, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 years. Our modern medicine's only been around for maybe 100 or 200 years. So let me see, 100 years or 10,000 years. I kind of would think that 10,000 years of history is a lot more, and I think that in the future, medicine is going to show that, it's good for emergency, but not for healing. So saying all that in reference to chakras, can you please give us like an introductory in reference to chakra? And by the way, everyone too, Simona's been practicing this now for over 10 years, right? In reference to chakras.
Yes. I started my journey in this realm of energy systems or healing when I started practicing meditation about 15 years ago. And I was studying psychology at university, and so I was already in the healing field. And then through the practice of meditation, I discovered I had strong intuitive gifts. And then my curiosity led me to study quantum physics and consciousness, and then into the subtle body and various energy systems and different healing modalities. And it's ongoing learning. You never, once you start on this path, you never stop learning. It's really wonderful. So started about 15 years ago, and that's how the journey is unfolding. Yeah.
Wow.
So about chakra, great. About chakra.
Simona, I wanted to say something in reference to that's interesting that you study all the stuff, even quantum physics. And isn't it pretty incredible that quantum physics is beginning now to verify a lot of these conceptual things in reference even to spirituality and energy? Isn't that interesting?
Yes. That's absolutely. Yeah. So we now are beginning to see that there's scientific validation for what, intuitive people and gifted and healers have been telling us for thousands and thousands of years. We didn't have the scientific validation, but we're now, as we're doing more research, it's starting to come out. So we're really in exciting times.
Yes. And technology is beginning to open up all these incredible realities, beginning to open up our eyes that, and again, like I mentioned, I trust kind of 10,000 years of human experience and probably way beyond that compared to 100, 200 years of what we consider medicine. But in reference, just because we can't see something, let's talk about this. What are these chakras? Yeah.
Yes, so typically chakras, I'm glad you mentioned that we can't see something, and just because we can't see that, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, right? So for many of us, we can't see that, but there are many intuitive people who actually see chakras. And so chakras are part of an energy system. They're part of the subtle body. They're on the first layer of the aura or the auric field. And the word chakra comes from an ancient Sanskrit language, and it means spinning wheels or vortex. So if you imagine like a tornado. And we all have the most commonly accepted chakra system in the West is the 7 chakra system. There are other chakras, but they're more minor chakras. And so the most talked about is the 7 chakra system. And they're basically laying in the body along the spine. And if you stand sideways, if a person is standing sideways, someone who can see energy, they can see these vortexes emanating from the front and the back of the body. And each chakra has a corresponding location. So I'll just give you an overview of the 7 chakras, their location, and just briefly what they're connected with. Now, each chakra is vibrating at a particular frequency, and we know that color is a wave traveling through space. And so each chakra basically has a color that is associated with the frequency of that color. So the root chakra is located at the base of the spine, and the color is red. And this chakra is associated with the adrenal glands, and it is basically the most commonly is concerned with the survival and with the fight and flight response. We draw upon when we're faced, with trying times and hardship, we find courage and resourcefulness to survive. So that is the root.
So it's interesting, like you're talking about that. So that's like for the survival. Is it like flight or fight? You know, you know what I'm saying. So I want to ask, in your experience and the way you have studied and all. Let's say that a lion's coming around the corner, or you're going to get into a fight, or with someone. Either you're going to run away or you're going to fight. What do you theorize? What happens to that core chakra, the red chakra? Does it amplify? Does it become redder? Does it give you more, that frequency for you to? What would you theorize? What would happen?
So what happens is that when the chakra is healthy, we draw strength and resourcefulness to survive, and we know what to do in that moment. And it's like mobilization of resources. So it basically, it's if we're healthy, it draws this tremendous energy. So the chakra is amplified because survival is at stake. So this is.
So then. We can theorize then if our root chakra, the red, is for us to fight and run away or whatever, right? Because, again, a lion's coming around the corner. But it basically, if our chakra and that part of it is out of balance and it's all cloudy and dark and, not balanced right, we might just get scared and just don't move, and we might get eaten by the lion where we could have run away if it was clean. I'm just theorizing that.
Yeah, it's possible. It's hard to say. We don't have these encounters every day, so it's hard to say. But yeah, we may go into freeze response. Maybe. Yeah. One of the things that is very common in these days is that a lot of people, we have the adrenal system and the fight or flight, the stress response. It's basically taxed, really, but it's not that we perceive a threat from the lion as our ancestors did, which was not every day, every hour, all the time. But we perceive the stress and the threat to our survival from various other sources, and so we're constantly being under that stress, whereas our ancestors would be exposed to that once in a while. And then the system would go back into harmony. And
so in our days now, I mean, we're all stressed out like hell. I mean, we all. I mean, our adrenals. We're taking all these energy drinks, mostly coffee, and sugar. So then I can probably see that it's no longer, running away from a lion's going to eat you, but you're really all stressed out just from everyday life. So probably that chakra is all out of whack. That this type of a therapy and chakra cleansing or rebalancing, could that make a big difference in nowadays now?
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, that's the base one. Please continue with the rest of them.
That's the base one. Yeah, the second chakra is the sacral chakra. The color and the frequency is yellow, and this chakra is associated with the ovaries and testes, with the sexual organs. It is in the pelvic area, just below the belly button. And this chakra is related to our creativity, our passion, the way we experience pleasure with our feelings and sensations. And the challenge of this chakra is letting go and movement. So movement as in not getting stuck, and movement of emotions and feelings. And so when you see highly creative people and their energy just flows, right? This is because their sacral chakra is wide open and the energy is flowing, and then they have this creative and passionate and juicy energy and just passionate life.
I mean, I'm beginning to see as we're talking that we're all screwed up, that all this stuff with this energy. I mean, we all need this, and we're all so, locked up now, and we're not letting all these energy flows. And maybe through these therapies or these treatments can maybe unblock us. I mean, what you just said there in reference to fertility and all. I mean, maybe women that can't have babies and stuff can work on that aspect of it and that vibration and frequency, and they might rebalance it for them to have, kids. I mean, and also some of us for creativeness, we can look at this and balance. Now, let's talk about that. How do you perceive, let's say, on blocking my creative? I'm all stuck. I don't have it. I can't have babies in reference to this one. What would be the treatment? How would that work? What would be the treatment?
So everything works in. Everything is interconnected. So one cannot just work on one chakra per se.
Okay.
But so they're all interconnected. Definitely working on the whole body and the whole energy system and finding out why that sacral chakra is blocked. Maybe the blockage is in the heart center actually, or maybe it is in the solar plexus. So the first is to find out what is actually happening. But with sacral chakra, and in particular with fertility and this issue, because one thing I want to mention is you talked about having babies, and having a child is a highly creative act. So that's the sacral chakra connected with creativity, that the growth of the baby is very creative. But yoga is definitely very, very helpful in this area, and working with a, certified teacher, somebody who knows. And they're Eastern practitioners. They're practitioners who specialize in fertility and Eastern medicine, basically unblocking. There are certain herbs that can help in this area, and certain essential oils. I work quite a bit with essential oils. One of my favorite for the sacral chakra is jasmine. It's a very gentle and sensual oil that helps open up that area.
Okay, so for everyone on the call, it isn't that, again, as Simona just said, it isn't something simple. I wish things were simple, but they're not. It's a kind of like a bigger picture complexity. And like you said, the second chakra is orange. It ain't like you're just going to put an orange color there and everything's going to be healed up. It doesn't work that way, everyone. You have to go and you have to learn, reasons why. And then that's why you have people out there like Simona and other people that, this is what they do, and they're able to guide you and help you. And I'm not saying that also, too, you can guide yourself. There's a lot of great things on there on the Internet and stuff. And also be careful. There's a lot of stuff out there. No, but thank you. That was a good explanation. So let's go into like the third one, which is yellow.
Yes, the sacral is the yellow and the solar plexus is the orange. Mm-hmm. So the solar plexus is the third chakra located between the navel and the solar plexus and is connected with the digestive system and the spleen. And this is the core of our personality, our ego, the sense of who we are, and our self-esteem and confidence arises from this center, from the solar plexus. It allows us to meet the challenges of life. One of the challenge of this chakra is to find the balance in this chakra. You know, some people have self-esteem that is not connected with the heart center. So we have to be connected with the heart center as well to have actually a healthy self-esteem so that we can live in harmony with others. So that's the solar plexus. And the first three chakras are we say, because they're on the kind of when we're standing up as human beings, the first is at the bottom, and so we sort of go up. But I don't personally like the terminology of lower chakras and higher chakras, but we just don't have a better terminology. They're all equal in a way because no chakra is better than the other. They're all necessary to have. But the first three chakras are basically not in the evolving realm of our consciousness. As we move into the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, which is a green chakra, and it's connected with the thymus gland, and it's at the center of the chest. And we're starting to get into the higher consciousness vibrations. And this chakra is connected with love, warmth, compassion. You know, when our hearts are open, we can form deep bonds with others and act with integrity and no harm and with love, basically. And this chakra is a unifying chakra. It brings wholeness to our being, and it connects, actually, the first three chakras that are associated with root, the survival, the sacral, with the reproduction and creativity and pleasure, and the solar plexus with our ego and our personality. And the heart chakra connects that with the higher chakras. So, and the higher chakras are, the fifth chakra is the throat chakra.
What, Simona, you know what? Let's give everyone the website. I mean, I'm looking at your website right now. Please tell us your website so people can, and then we'll say it towards the end of the show so people can go to it.
Yes, absolutely. So it's chakra-anatomy.com, and I'll spell it out. It's CHAKRA-ANATOMY.com.
Chakra dash, the little negative.
Dash.
The little negative. Dash anatomy.com. Okay, I'm looking at your site. You have tests on that you can do and all, what you're explaining here. So if people, you want to be in contact with Simona, please go to her website. And it also will be archived, and it will be there also on the description. So let's continue. What's interesting, how we're evolving now. What's interesting, like you're starting from an embryo or from the evolvement of a human being, like from the sperm and the egg, from the root, from the bottom, like a seed coming out of the ground, and then like an acorn, how it grows into this huge oak tree. So it seems like we're beginning to now evolve from human survival now we're becoming to become aware, and then we're becoming more spiritual. So absolutely right. I see what you're saying, that it's not one, from the bottom up. No, you're growing from the bottom up. So then we're evolving, and that's what it seems like to me, that this is evolving.
Yes, that's beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yes, thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. So we're evolving, and in that heart center, we're starting to evolve into the higher chakras, which the fifth is the throat, and the color is blue, and it's connected with the thyroid gland. And this chakra is in the region of neck and shoulder, basically at the front, at the center of the neck. And the chakra is about expressing your authentic voice and inspired creativity, seeking and sharing truth. So what you've created in the sacral chakra with the creativity, you're now bringing it out to the world. You've evolved, you have healthy self-esteem, and you're connected with your heart. So you want to share what you've created with others. And this could be not just art. I used to think that creativity is just all about art, like painting, but creativity is so much more. It is, it's writing, but it's also developing techniques, new techniques, and healing with others. So there's so much more to it. Yeah. It's also standing up for what you believe in, and speaking really your truth. So that's the throat chakra. And many of us actually have a lot of blockages in the throat chakra, as it's common with the thyroid disorders. So that is common, very common in women in particular, from what my experience.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even Simona, even like the throat chakra, you say it's expressing and all. And I mean, right now, this country is becoming a police state. And we're all being tied up, and you tense up, and you can't talk, and you feel it around your shoulder, and you feel it around your throat that you can't speak, and you get the anger and all. So I think a lot of us, and I also believe that consciousness is beginning to open up those chakras. I mean, the universe and God is beginning to open up the chakras for us now to say, you know what? These things are wrong, and we're beginning now to wake up into speaking. So I believe that vibration, the chakra, relieve the tension on your shoulders and to speak out. And I think that we'll probably see that. I'm predicting as time goes on, very soon more and more people are going to be speaking out. And that's part of that maybe opening of that chakra, no?
Absolutely. I see that happen too. I think this is growing so much, and we're all contributing, and we're all doing our own work. And with that, we contribute to the collective consciousness, and that helps to open up those spaces and energy patterns in others as well. So when we do our own work, we're also doing it on a collective level as well, on the level of collective consciousness.
With it,
yes, great.
That's interesting that you're saying that. Let's say that I'm in tune with all this, right? And then my chakras and all are open, and then I'm able to give off a vibration around me, right? Would it make sense that if I'm in contact with other people, then also like I can transmit my energy to these people for them to also opening up as well, like indirectly? And also by watching videos, because now quantum physics has showed that it doesn't matter. Whatever you think, it can go across the universe instantly. So there is no space and time. So I believe now, by us doing even YouTube, or doing tweets or whatever, or us writing, that's vibrating with a bunch of people. So people, I think it's beginning to vibrate. We're all coming together like water. You know how water just becomes one? And we're beginning we're beginning indirectly, we're beginning to wake up with other people. By us waking up, we can wake up other people as well, by us being around them. And our thing is to just let people know. You just being around them. And they'll probably be more accepting of this because they're vibrating with it as well, no?
Absolutely, absolutely. One thing, if we are working on our own blockages, and for me, it's a constant, it's a daily practice because we're not separate from our environment. And the chakras, one thing is, once you clear your chakras, it doesn't mean that they're cleared all the time. Energy work is a continuous work and being open because, like you say, there's so many toxins in the world and pollution and even our thoughts can pollute our energy system. So it's continuous work. And in this way, we also help other people.
Well, again, like you just said,
ourselves.
Simona, was interesting. Like you said, it's energy, right? So like our liver cleanses out, our kidneys cleanse out. Our blood is always being cleaned out. So it would make sense that we're surrounded with all this toxic energy. So then our energy system is is working like our liver, like our pancreas, like our kidneys to cleanse out. So it's an ever continuous basis. No?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Now we're almost down to the last two. I mean, we got a couple more minutes left, and let's touch upon.
Okay, so I'll just quickly. So the sixth chakra is the third eye chakra. The color is indigo, and it is seated in the center of the forehead. Well, in between the eyebrows, so the center of the forehead, but not in the middle of the forehead. Just a little bit above the eyes in the middle, and that's why it is called third eye. So it is our way. Once this chakra is open, we have the ability to see the inner and the outer world. So we can see clearly. We can begin to see energy patterns. We can begin to see how everything is interconnected, and that that nothing is solid and stable, but everything is actually energy. Even if things on a lower level appear as very solid, like a table may appear very solid, but it's actually energy. So we begin, once we open the third eye, we begin to perceive this. And also we begin to think about in symbolic language and metaphors and symbols. We gain tremendous clarity of thought, and we're able to function in the world of the material world and in the spiritual world. So that's the third eye. And then the seventh chakra is the crown chakra. The color is violet, and sometimes it could be white. Violet is a deeply spiritual color, and this chakra is at the top of the head and is associated with the pineal gland, which releases melatonin. And I think I forgot, and the third eye actually is connected with the pituitary gland, sorry, with my pronunciation. And that is actually a gland that is stimulates the growth hormone and thyroid hormone. So the throat chakra and the third eye chakra are connected with each other through that channel as well. Now, the crown chakra sits at the top of the head, and when it's wide open, we feel oneness, mystical oneness with the universe, and we have the selfless realization and connection to higher realms. It's quite unusual to have crown chakra to have wide open all the time. This would be just very few people who would function in these high spiritual realms. But we can have energy flowing through the crown chakra and have these openings.
Well, you know
one of the challenges.
No, again, we're up to the end of our show. I mean, as you can hear this, it's time just flies by. So, again, please tell everyone about your website.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Again, everyone, sorry. Thank you for your time, Sedona.
Thank you, Alex, for having me.
Yes, we'll definitely do another show in the future. And again, everyone, this is Sedona. This is Alex from the NC Savings Club. Please go to our website, chakra-anatomy.com. And again, everyone, chakra-anatomy.com, Sedona. Thank you, everyone. I'll look forward to next week's show. Thank you.